Kevin Thelwell's back room. Is his son, Robbie Thelwell, 26-year-old, has just been appointed as head of recruitment, which is quite a number, at Rangers, and as part of a shake-up of the sort of managerial structure. I believe that another recruit is coming in. Nathan Fisher as head scout will come into the structure. He comes from Everton, so yeah. Kevin Thelwell obviously was at Everton. His technical director, Dan Purdy, he was at Everton. Nathan Fisher was at Everton, and Robbie was playing Xbox in the back room. Listen, I've got to be honest with you. I am absolutely gobsmacked by this. And I'm struggling to see the logic in it, because at this moment in time, it feels like blatant gaslighting of the Rangers support. I've been saying on this show for some time that Kevin Thelwell isn't part of the solution. He's probably part of the problem. But the Rangers fans took aim. And when they took aim at Patrick Stewart and Russell Martin. So purely, and I'm just trying to work it out, why Kevin Thelwell would make an appointment like this and put himself front and centre in the blast zone, because the Rangers fans are going to react horribly to this. And by the way, let's not forget, with the Everton links, they've spent £8 million, possibly rising to £10 million on a striker that has forgotten how to score goals. This stinks. It fails every possible smell test. And unless Robbie Thelwell is about to produce the next Lamine Yamal and get him for 500 grand, I honestly, my first instinct in this, and I know this will be wrong, but it's so silly. It's so badly thought out. It almost feels as if people are now just digging their heels in and waiting to get a payoff. It feels as if they're deliberately trying to antagonise a support which is already beyond breaking point, and now they're making appointments which, as I said, they just do not pass the smell test. Look, if you want to look at a club that's been badly run in terms of recruitment in England's Premier League over the last while, you'd look no further than Everton. You look no further than the amount of money that's been spent there and the trials and tribulations they've had in order to try and keep themselves in the Premier League. Everton are no model for how to run a football club in the modern day. They're a model of how not to do it. And Kevin Thelwell, why he was appointed in the first place, I do not know. But now he's filling his whole kind of management structure with people that have been at Everton and his son. And, giving Everton the best bit of £10 million for a striker who couldn't get a game at Everton and who they signed for 15. They won't be able to believe the luck when they did that deal, when that deal came to the table. £10 million for a striker. They paid, 12, whatever it was for in the first instance, that couldn't get a game, hasn't scored a goal. And you add all that into one big picture, and if Rangers fans aren't tearing their hair out with this tonight, I'll be astonished.
Well, before we bring you in on that, Mick, we have got some Rangers fans who have let us know precisely what they think. And if you're watching at home and you want to let us know your thoughts, please do so. We'll try and read them out. A lot of strong opinions here, Keith. Let me run through a few of them. John says, I'm stunned at the appointment of Thelwell Jr., but I shouldn't be really. The club is full of imposters. Nathan says, Kevin Thelwell, ex-Everton, Purdy, ex-Everton, Fisher, ex-Everton, Robbie Thelwell, Thelwell's son. What are the chances a thorough recruitment process identifies 3 former Everton employees and the sporting director's son as the best candidates for the job? Serious question, need asked now.
Dan, I'm going to come in there, right? And here's the thing, and this is where, and I've accused the Rangers board of acting with real arrogance, bordering on disdain towards their own support. Over the period since the takeover was completed, and these guys come in and they told you anything that walked, talked, or kicked a ball for 30 seconds anywhere in England would be an upgrade on anything that is already north of the border. But that level, that comment about questions need do they really think that the Rangers support are just going to sit back and go, oh, brilliant, guys, well done? They're going to be held up to scrutiny. And this is where it makes no logical sense to me. They're not daft guys. They must know this. They must know there's going to be a furious reaction to this. It'd be a different matter if everything they'd done so far had turned to gold and Rangers were sitting top of the table and Russell Martin was a masterstroke, and then maybe you could sneak an appointment like this. A 26-year-old boy, by the way, because that's what Robbie Thelwell is. He was what they call a video scout at Norwich. What does that mean? He watched YouTube vids, showreels. He then became a scout and in charge of loan management. He's held kind of low-level scouting positions at Villa and Wolves. On what basis does that CV qualify him to become head of recruitment at Rangers Football Club when they've been talking about building a business model based on player trading? The ability to pick up players at a knockdown fee, a couple of £1 million, and sell them for 10 times that. On what basis? And all the best to the boy. I hope he's really good. There is no basis. Nobody's going to come on here tonight and tell me, yes, here's why. Here's a logical reason why you make this appointment. And I saw, in reports about this is the end of a thorough recruitment process in which they've, been looking for best in class. Best in class? As I said, I'll come back to it. They are now in front of your very eyes gaslighting their own supporters. Why are they doing this? It makes no sense.
Before I bring you in, Mick, let me just finish with these comments. John says Kevin Thelwell must think he's safely in with the bricks at Ibrox now. Nepotism at its best. He says it's the gift that keeps on giving. Who writes their script? And friend of the show, Rangers Easy OK, says this takeover was meant to be the start of a new dawn for us. I must say all the excitement has been drained and we've only hit October. We have Everton's full recruitment team and a chief executive who was at Man United, two of the worst run clubs in England the past decade. More cheap championship dross and Premier League cast-offs incoming. Ibrox will be empty come Christmas.
Well, I did say Rangers Easy OK. It was likely to get worse before it get better, and I've been banging that particular line out for a while. At various points, you think, well, this is probably reaching towards the rock bottom period. Maybe this reshuffle is where we are with that now. Maybe this is effectively rock bottom.
We've actually got joining us online now, fresh from the Rangers press conference. Sorry, I keep saying I'm going to bring back in any minute, and then I keep delaying it. Sorry,
I can't wait for a fish supper here.
Sorry, we've got Scott McDermott's joining us live from Austria after the Rangers presser. We're obviously, Scott, just talking about the news about Robbie Thelwell.
Yeah, and Russell Martin has just addressed that news, Daniel, at his pre-match press conference. Listen, he was very honest and open about it. He's backed the move. Said no one's more aware of how that appointment might look than Kevin Thelwell, but he's adamant that no, this decision wouldn't have been made if it wasn't for the best, if it wasn't in Rangers' best interests. Russell Martin says the club needs change, right across the board in every department. He did say, by the way, that it's obviously he's had no say in this because it's not really in his remit. He's left it to Kevin Thelwell, Dan Purdy, Patrick Stewart and others, but no, he's in favour of it. He says that he spoke to people at Norwich who know Kevin Thelwell's son very well, rate him really highly, and he's convinced that no one will get a job at Ibrox unless they deserve it.
What do you think of that, Keith?
Listen, I'm speechless, to be perfectly honest with you.